Hey, so I got a great question yesterday on my Instagram stories asking how to return to playing basketball from chronic knee pain. So what I would say is you want to return slowly. You don't want to rush this process. And I would focus on 4 things while you're returning to play. So number 1, I would focus on reintroducing fast contraction type movements. I would strengthen, for number 2, I would strengthen the armor around your knee or the musculature. Number 3, make sure you are consistent with your active recovery. And then number 4, listen to your body. So for number 1, like I was talking about, you want to reintroduce fast contraction type movements. That's going to include everything from running and sprinting and change of direction and jumping and whatnot, but even just introduction or intro level exercises like hopping or skipping or jump roping, things like that would be really good for reintroducing fast contraction type movements into your regimen. When it comes to strength training, I would also include fast contractions for like fast eccentrics, which is something like a rapid drop where, let's say I'm doing a squat and I drop down rapidly. You'll see a lot of the times in rehab programs, rehab strength training programs, you'll have like slow eccentrics where you come down slow and under control, or you hold a position for a long amount of time, or even you come up slow on a concentric. But I think it's important to reintroduce those fast contraction type movements because that's what you're going to experience while you're playing. So you want to expose your body to those fast contraction type movements. And again, that could be things like fast eccentrics on a squat. It could be fast eccentrics and then I hold down here for 3 or 4 seconds and then I come up rapidly on my concentric, but just again reintroducing those fast contraction type movements. Second thing I would focus on, like I said before, is strengthening the armor around your knee. You definitely want to strengthen the quadricep. Like that's a really important muscle, especially with chronic knee pain, which is generally going to be on the front of the knee. You want to have strong quads to support that, but you also want to strengthen the hamstrings, the adductors on your inner thighs, your glutes, and you want to strengthen the structures underneath your knee. So that would be like your calves, your anterior tibialis, your feet. You want to strengthen all of those structures around your knee, and then you also want to have like core strengthening, so that way you have good motor control and you're not. Balance is often something that will trigger, has a role on non-contact type injuries. So having a strong core is going to help you have better control over your body and therefore have better balance, which is going to, in theory, that would like reduce injury risk or injury irritation. Third thing I would focus on, like I said before, is being consistent with your active recovery. So that's everything from sleep to de-stressing, to stretching, mobility work, your nutrition, your hydration. All of that is really important that you are consistent with it and not really having any major slip-ups, because those are 1% difference makers in my opinion. So, I just named 6 things that you could do. Well, that's 6% of a difference that could go, up or down, either in your favor or against your favor. So it's worth it to prioritize those things. And then the last thing I would focus on is listening to your body. You're gonna have days, it's inevitable, especially with chronic knee pain, where your knee's just not feeling it. And that could be because you went too hard the day before, or maybe you played for 5 days straight and your knee just is not in a place to be able to handle that. So the volume is too high. Like, take a day off or ice your knee, or it's okay to some days you just have to take off, and that is part of training. It's part of recovery. I know like we oftentimes really glamorize like go as hard as you can all the time, no days off, and there's definitely a place for that, right? You definitely want to outwork your competition, but sometimes you got to be smart about how you outwork them. You can't outwork people when you're injured, so sometimes you just got to take a day off and listen to your body. But overall, that's 4 things I would really focus on in your return to play, which is again reintroducing fast contraction type movements, strengthening the armor around your knee, prioritizing or being really consistent with your active recovery, and then listening to your body. So I hope that this was helpful. If this was helpful, please drop a comment below, or even tag a friend who you think this would help and that they could benefit from this, I would really appreciate that. And if you're not already, make sure you like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. It's going to help, it's going to help promote my business, and it's going to also help me help more people in the end. So it'd be much appreciated. All right, but in other words, let's keep growing and let's get to work.